We all talk about common sense, but have we ever stopped to actually think about what it is? Today, we're going to dig into that because understanding it can seriously unlock a more powerful, even a more creative way of thinking. So let's get right into it. Seems like a simple question, doesn't it? But honestly, the answer is, well, it's a lot deeper than you might think. Most of us just write off common sense as, gut feeling, something obvious. But what if I told you it's actually a super sophisticated system, a tool that we can learn to use on purpose to get way better at solving problems? Okay, so if we're gonna harness this thing, we first have to agree on what we're even talking about. We've got to get past this fuzzy idea of just knowing stuff. We need a real working definition, something we can actually grab onto.
So here it is. This definition completely changes the game. It's not just some instinct, it's an operational system. I love that. Think of it like the OS for the practical side of your brain. It's built from everything you've ever done, everything you've learned from those experiences. It's literally the software you run to get by in the real world.
All right, so let's unpack that. What are the pillars holding this system up? First, it has to be based on practical experience, actually doing things. Second, it's not enough to just do stuff. You have to actively reflect on it. What went right? What went wrong? Third, the whole point is to drive effective action. And this last one is huge. It's a learned system. That means you can get better at it. It's not just something you're born with. Okay, wait a minute. If common sense is all about being grounded, practical, and based in reality, how in the world does that connect with creativity? The wild, out-of-the-box stuff? Aren't they like total opposites? Well, you'd be surprised. This right here just lays it out perfectly. They're two sides of the same coin. Think about it. Common sense is your foundation. It's your grip on reality, on what is. Creative thinking, that's the amazing skyscraper you build on top of that foundation. It's all about what could be. And hey, you can't build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation, right? It's the same idea. You need that solid ground of common sense to launch truly creative ideas. And boom, that's the big idea right there. Real creativity, real innovation, it doesn't just pop out of nowhere. It happens when you take your practical, common sense understanding of the world and use it as a launchpad. It's like common sense teaches you the rules of the game so that your creative side can figure out exactly how to bend them. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory. Common sense and creativity working together, beautiful. But how do we actually do it? How do we switch between these two ways of thinking without it turning into a total mess, especially in, say, a team meeting? I mean, you've been there, right? A brainstorming meeting, the ideas start flying, and then someone immediately jumps in with, yeah, but that'll never work because. And just like that, the energy in the room just dies. It's this constant clash between the creative ideas and the critical feedback. It's exhausting. But what if there was a way to stop that clash, to organize the chaos? Well, turns out there's a tool for this. And here it is. It's called the 6 Thinking Hats, developed by Edward de Bono. It is an absolutely genius framework that basically separates our thinking into 6 different modes. The whole idea is that you or your entire team can focus on just one way of thinking at a time. So, here are the hats. You've got white for just the facts, red for feelings and gut instincts, black is all about caution and risks, yellow is the sunny, optimistic one, green is where the creativity happens, and blue is the manager, the one controlling the process. And here's the secret sauce. Everyone in the room agrees to wear the same hat at the same time. No more clashing, just pure, focused thinking. Let's dig in a bit. The white hat, think of a blank piece of paper. It's just objective data. No opinions allowed. We're just asking, what do we know for sure, and what information do we still need? It's the total opposite of the red hat, which is all about emotions, hunches, gut feelings. See how powerful that is? You can look at the facts without emotion getting in the way. And then you can talk about how you feel without needing to back it up with a spreadsheet. Then you've got the black hat. This is your cautious side, the one who plays devil's advocate. It's super important for stress testing ideas. You're basically asking, okay, what are all the things that could go wrong here? And its partner is the yellow hat, the total optimist looking for all the benefits and good things that could happen. By using both, one after the other, you get a complete picture, the risks and the rewards. And I really want to stress this point. The black hat isn't negative, it's protective. It's not there to shoot down ideas, it's there to find the weak spots so you can fix them before things blow up. It's a way to make your ideas bulletproof. It's just as valuable as the yellow hat, which helps you see the bright side. And then we get to the green hat. This is the fun one. This is the engine of creativity. When everyone's wearing the green hat, anything goes. No judgment, no bad ideas. It's a safe zone for pure brainstorming. And who keeps all this on track? That's the blue hat's job. The blue hat is like the conductor of an orchestra, telling everyone, okay, now let's wear the green hat, or time for some black hat thinking. It keeps the whole process moving smoothly. Okay, so we know what the hats are. But how do you actually use them? How does this work in the real world? It's actually really simple, which is why it's so brilliant. Let's say your team is planning a retreat. You could start with the blue hat to decide the goals for the meeting. Then everybody puts on the white hat. What's our budget? What dates are available? Just the facts. Then you switch to the green hat for some wild brainstorming. Let's go to Bali. Let's rent a castle. After you've got some ideas, you put on the yellow hat to talk about the good parts of each one. Then you put on the black hat to poke holes in them. What if flights to Bali are too expensive? See? Everyone is thinking about the same thing from the same angle all at once. No more arguments. And that right there, that's the magic of it. It takes thinking from this chaotic, messy argument and turns it into a structured, organized process. Everybody gets to contribute, every angle gets covered, and your practical common sense and your wild creativity finally get to work together instead of fighting each other. So, here's the big takeaway. Common sense isn't just what you know. It's about how you organize your thinking. And with a tool like the 6 thinking hats, you can actually take control of that process. So the next time you're facing a tough problem or a big challenge, I want you to ask yourself, which thinking hat am I going to put on first? Because that simple choice, well, it could change everything.